So I think we have a few new people on. So you guys just like take a few minutes to kind of share a little bit brief story or how you guys got involved and.
Yeah.
You want to go for it? Your turn.
Yeah, sure. I'm Eli. This is Trista. We are a presidential dining company, and we've been for
just over 2 years.
Just over 2 years now. We just charted for ambassador, which is the highest rank in the company. All thanks to our unbelievable team and our unbelievable God. It truly is unbelievable. It's been an amazing journey. And 2 years ago, we'll just call it 2 years, a little longer than that. Trista came to me and said, "Hey, I want to join this company. It works." And I said, "Not a chance. You're not doing it, silly. This is a network marketing company. This is a pyramid scheme, and it won't work." At the time, she was a nurse. I was a firefighter. I also owned a gym.
I remember that. He told me there was a firefighter.
Anyways, we did those things. So life was good. I thought, we're living the American dream. Let's do that thing. Let's just keep building our dream that way. In my business, I built that business from the ground up, and I thought that's how you build personal wealth. That's how you build a business. And I thought these were those get rich quick, promise false hope, false dreams to people, and then leave them flapping in the breeze. And I was dead wrong, and I've never been more happy to say that I was dead wrong about that. That was that cocky baseball player, that arrogance coming out in me for sure. Everything about this style company. So she came to me, asked me to join. I said no. She respected my wishes and didn't join. And then 6, 7, 8, 9 months later, she re-asked me to join. And this time she brought some ammunition because the person that we signed under, her name is Brittany Landrum. If you don't know her or follow her, you should. She had earned a $50,000 bonus. Trista showed me a post on Facebook that had Brittany earning that $50,000 bonus. And I said, well, you at least have my attention because dollar signs and commas really talk to me for sure. And so I listened to what she had to say, and I still shot her down because I still didn't quite believe in the vision of the company. I didn't believe in the vision of this style of marketing. I prayed about it that night. I woke up the next day and I told Trista, I said, if this is something you want to do, go do it. Even if it, in my mind, even if it is just to have a new hobby, to find some new friends, to create a new energy, to step outside of your comfort zone, what could it possibly hurt? Because for $99, you have at least a chance at changing our lives, and you're going to spend $99 at Target later anyways on a pair of whatever. So she joined, and things moved and escalated very quickly. She earned a $1,000 Ruby bonus for herself because at that time that was the promotion going on. I joined her team. She helped me join her team.
I made him join my team.
We earned another $1,000 bonus, and I jumped in with 2 feet. Once I became a distributor, I jumped in with 2 feet. That was after a lot of prayer, a couple of days worth of prayer anyway. And we took off running together. And ever since, this was 9 months into us both being part of the business, Trista was able to come home to our kids. She left her full-time registered nurse position, which she absolutely loved. She loves our kids and the time with our kids even more. So came home to them. I stepped away from my business, which was a nice, lucrative business. I stepped away from that business because of what Trista had done on her side of the business. And about 2 months ago, again, we did the unthinkable, and I retired from my career firefighter position, and we are now a full-time, it works, stay-at-home family due to Trista stepping out of her comfort zone, us seeing the vision and staying consistent and grinding toward our goals, and we're living proof that this business does work, and it will continue to work as long as you work it. So that's kind of our story in a nutshell. Here we sit.
There you go.
Very nice. So, okay, so I'll ask a few questions, then I'll let everyone ask questions. But so this one is kind of raw on my heart just because I had a lot going on today with my twin sister who came out and told me that she unfollowed me, which, I mean, I kind of had an idea that she might have, just because she hadn't liked any of my posts for a really long time, like even just non-It Works posts. So I came out and asked her, like, did you unfollow me? And she said yes, and she listed all these reasons why, like really hurtful reasons. So like, I know, Trista, like with you, some of your family was unsupportive. So like, how do you, like, I mean, because I really took that personally. So how do you get past that? Because I know a lot of people deal with haters and
Absolutely.
unsupportive family.
For those of you who don't know my story, my dad was very, very, still is very unsupportive of us and doing this business. And quite honestly, you just have to remember why you started and what God is using you to do. You are impacting your family's future. Your family's legacy is being written right now. So while it does, like, it hurts. It hurts a lot when people that you think are going to support you and don't, but quite honestly, like, they don't pay your bills, which I know that sounds so corny, but it's so true. They don't write your paycheck.
They're not bringing you home to your kids.
They're not bringing you home to your babies and letting you pay cash for a car. So for what I have found works well, because I still do want to have a relationship with those people who aren't supportive. So we kind of just make a decision that we're not going to talk about it. Yes, it is hurtful, and I do want your support, but at the same time, it's fine. Like, I just have to be the bigger person and understand that usually it's jealousy, or there's something. We always talk about, like, people want to see you do good, but they never want to see you do better than them. And honestly, it says a lot more about them than I feel like it does about us.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to remember that, like, this is where God led you to, and it's just going to be part of your journey. And honestly, I actually had one of my new girls at our meeting last night say that she did unfollow me, which happens a lot. Point, yeah. It happens a lot. People that are Melanie. She's on here. She unfollowed. It's fine. But usually because we have something that they want, but they're not willing to admit that yet. It's not their time. Or it's just part of your story. So whatever you do not let that distract you from your why and your goals.
And I think you have to oftentimes remember this, and I'm speaking specifically to Lindsay here, which I'm sure that it probably, is geared towards everyone who has a hater. You have to remember that a lot of when it comes to Satan, he's here to seek, kill us, and destroy us. He wants to rob us of any opportunity at happiness or success. And so he'll take those that are closest to us, and he'll put feelings of envy, feelings of jealousy, feelings of whatever in their mind that are not even their own original feelings, to help create this feeling of animosity and turmoil between you and your sister that will in turn ruin her life and hopefully allow those feelings to affect you and ruin your life as well. So you can't let him win, because a lot of times those feelings that she's having and the hurtful things that she says, they're not coming from her. They're coming from him, because he knows that those things will hurt you the most and keep both of you separate and both of you as unhappy as possible. You have to remember those things too. He's here to keep us from being successful. He's here to keep us from being happy, and he will do whatever he can to make sure that that doesn't happen. If that means breaking apart the strongest relationships that you possibly have, he'll do that. So what you've got to do is, when somebody has those feelings toward you, like she said, maybe you remove yourself from talking about that. But what we do, and this is no joke because we have similar situations going on in our lives too, I treat people with just as much love as I ever did before. Because at the end of the day, they're going to have to deal with their own personal emotions themselves. All I can do is make sure that I handle it as professionally as I possibly can, and as with much love as I possibly can.
And honestly, we pray about it a lot. We've got a couple that are pretty big relationships that for whatever reason are kind of going through similar things. And we pray about it every single day.
Absolutely. And those things are hurtful. You know, there's no guidebook that helps you get through those types of things other than the Bible. That's the one that'll guide you through those things. And that relationship with the Lord, that stronghold that you have there, is really going to help. But understanding that those feelings that you have, or that she has, or that whoever has, a lot of times aren't original feelings or original thoughts that they have. They're placed there by the enemy to keep you from being happy and to keep you from being successful. So really, that's how I deal with them, is I just think, you know what? The enemy's throwing punches at me. I'm going to throw punches back, and I'm going to let him know that he holds no power over me with those feelings. Mm-hmm. Because that's what you have to make sure of, is that you just don't let him win, because he will if you allow him to.
Yeah. Oh, I need to hear that. It's been a bad day.
I totally do, but it doesn't have to continue staying a bad day. Right here, this second, you can make that change.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to pray for my heart, because right now I'm just like, I don't even want to. Sorry.
I understand. I totally understand. And that's the reason we're having this Zoom right now. Could possibly very well just for this reason right here. So good that we're having it.
We're all in it together, guys.
Absolutely.
We're all feeling the same things sometimes.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Does anybody else have any questions they wanted to shoot out?
Make sure you unmute yourself.
If not, I have one. I'll go. So I think, Lindsay's, we've experienced a lot of success, but there's also been some hard months, and I would say everybody probably has had that. So I think something that would love to hear from you guys about would be like, on those months that are really slow, how do you stay motivated and stayed, push through that slow month, know that, next month's going to be different, going to be better, or just keep pushing through. Like maybe you're messaging, you're posting, you're talking to people, but for whatever reason, you're not seeing the fruit.
Story, and then I'll let Trista explain how we get through it. One reason you do get through it, this is what I'll say, is why you do this and why you keep your nose to the grindstone, is because of what happened to us at the end of last month. We had a really, really slow May. It was May, right? We had a really slow May. There wasn't a lot going on, and we were earning some customers here and there. I think we assigned a distributor early on in May, and then literally nothing. For like 3 weeks, we had like nothing. One thing we really don't do is get discouraged, but we do notice the fact that things are a little bit slow. It's easier to not get discouraged the further in the company you go. But if we would have got discouraged, I don't think what happened at the end of the month would have happened. So we stayed positive, we stayed consistent, we stayed pushing, and all of a sudden we signed like 8 distributors at the end of the month. And it was completely unexpected. They literally came out of nowhere. So just knowing that at the drop of a hat, things can change, that keeps us going, because you really don't know the ebb and flow of this business. You don't know what's happening in your viewers' lives that could possibly make them make the leap that day. So you just look for, you just keep going, because you don't know when that's going to happen.
Honestly, like, I think of it as, I never know what day somebody needs to see my post. We have had really, really, we've had months where we didn't sign anybody, but I knew everybody says it's about planting seeds. It's about planting seeds. It's about planting seeds. It's about consistency. So I know that if I stop, what good does that do, for one? But for two, like, my break might have been literally going to happen the very next day. And it's honestly like the last, 5 or so distributors that I've signed have not people that interact with my post, not people that are messaging me, people that I have no idea that they're out there watching me, but they are watching me. And I will tell you, people notice a lot more when you're not posting than when you are. People notice, like, I haven't seen anything out of Trista in 3 days. She must be like saying I'm done.
We actually just got called out on our lives.
We did get called out on lives. That's why we went live.
Last night, somebody was like, man, I used to love following your lives, and really that's why I joined, was for your lives. And I was like, Trista, I told you. Why aren't we going live anymore? But truly, I had been on her, and she was just like, she was literally like, what was it? You were like, well, I'm never looking good. It was during our prep. You know, it was during her prep for like bikini show. So she literally looked like a zombie. So it was very beautiful.
Thank you.
Very, very. But it was tough for her, and it wasn't an excuse, but she didn't feel like going live. She was very consistent still in her business and in her leadership, but feeling and going live wasn't a comfortable fit for her. Well, we got called out last night by somebody who literally just joined 6 days ago or whatever it was.
And it doesn't feel good. It does not feel good.
No, they were like, why haven't you been going live? That's why I joined. And so I told Trista, I said, that's it. And it's so true. We're getting a little bit off course right now, but if you're not going live, you need to start, because people see and feel your personality. And seeing and feeling a personality is huge, because the very first meeting that we ever had with her, she said she felt like she already knew us because of those lives. It's very important to do that. But getting back to getting through those tough months.
Honestly, it was just one of those things where I knew that every top leader said, like, it's consistency, it's consistency, it's consistency. And you never, ever know when your big break is coming. But if you continue to work every single day, there has not been one day since I joined that I took off. I have posted every single day, at least 3 posts a day, usually more.
Ever since you joined?
Since the day I joined. Because I knew that is why I joined. I joined because Brittany Landrum was so stinking consistent. She was in my face about this business every single day.
And I don't know where the disconnect is, but I don't know if it's a disconnect. That's a terrible term. But like when I built my gym, when I built my business, I didn't take a paycheck for years. Like for years, I didn't take a paycheck. And I was okay with that, because I knew that I was building a business and building an opportunity to better my future. What is the difference when people join this business? You guys, this is a new flash. You are a business owner. You are running a business, and potentially a multi-million-dollar business at that. You have to understand that in most all businesses, you aren't going to collect a paycheck for quite some time. Now, the beauty of network marketing and this business is you can and have the opportunity with very low overhead and the opportunity to make sales via social media and to the masses. You have an opportunity to make a paycheck fairly quickly. But when you're not, and when things aren't going great, understand that you're still sitting in the catbird seat, because you are building potentially a multi-million-dollar business really rent-free. So don't worry too much about that. Just stay consistent and stay true to the process. And I will assure you that in one capacity or another, it will pay off.
Yep. So with consistency, a lot of times I think people think I'm posting, like post every day. Well, that's good, but that is like the minimum, but that is not what you need to be doing every day to be super successful and to build your paycheck. It's the reaching out to people, expanding your network, doing self-development, doing parties, doing Zooms, those kind of things consistently is what takes your business to the next level, so that it gets easier to get through those slower times. If you are constantly planting those seeds and you're constantly reaching out to new people, you'll find that those kind of slow seasons happen a lot less.
The importance of acting like the rank that you desire is really, really, really beneficial. If you are an executive and you want to be a diamond and you are only acting like an executive, you will not advance to Ruby. It won't happen. If your goal is diamond, you need to start acting like one today. What would that diamond leader be doing today? Would they be having a team meeting? Would they be doing a Zoom tonight? Would they be running through their 100s list? Would they be making their 4 posts for the day? Would they be doing this, that, and the other thing with their self-development? What would that diamond leader be doing? And that's what you need to be doing If I want to be the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company, I better dress like the CEO, I better act like the CEO, and I will fill that CEO role one day. You cannot become a millionaire on minimum wage effort. Start putting millionaire effort in and you will become one. You will fill that role. It's very, very important to assume the role of whatever it is that you want to do.
Yep.
Okay, so with posting, like I know you start off not very good and you don't really know what you're doing. So like what would be your best advice for like someone who's just getting started?
Yeah. So I definitely, a really good rule when getting started is to minimum 3 posts a day. 5 posts a day is better. But at least 1 product post, either before and after or a selfie with a product. Being a product of the product is so super important. People want to see you using the products. They want to know what you think about the products. If you want customers, you need to show yourself using different products. It doesn't have to be a lot of different products. I know that can be expensive, but find one product. And I literally, the first month I joined, I posted a selfie with my greens every single day that month. I mean, it was every single day.
For a couple reasons. It was the only product she had. She only had one shirt. So that's the truth, though. You make do with what you have. There are so many excuses. I don't have enough products. I don't have enough clothes. I don't have this, that, and the other thing. Well, what you really got is a bunch of excuses. You got plenty of those to go around.
Yeah. But I signed so many customers for greens because I posted about it every single day. So at least 1 product post, 2 opportunity posts. I usually like to kind of ballpark it. Opportunity posts do not have to be like, join my team, join my team, join my team. People don't want to see that. They don't want to know what, let me think about how I want to say this. They don't want to have to like think about joining your team for you. Right. They want to know what this business is going to do for them. So you need to be showing them the little successes all along the way. And I know like starting out, sometimes you feel like, well, I'm not making big dollars yet. I don't have a whole lot to show. Get creative with it. Sell a wrap. $25. Take your family out for ice cream. Like that's big for some people. Put $25 worth of gas in your gas tank. Get a fast start bonus. Fast start bonuses are one of my favorite things to post about because they're unlimited, and who doesn't want a $100 bonus every single week? So post about that. When you sign a customer, post what you're doing. Post that you're, on your lunch break, or you just got out of work, or you're at the park with your kids and you signed a customer, you signed a distributor, you're talking to somebody. Just the freedom to work this business from anywhere, that is an opportunity post. And then just 2 posts that have nothing to do at all with the business. People still want to see you and your. So I think sometimes when people start, like, they immediately start blasting, it works, it works, it works, it works. And it's very like, people are like, stop it, make it stop. So people still want to see you and your life. And the more that you can just incorporate it works into your life, the better. The reason I feel like we are so is because we just share like whatever the heck we're doing that day with our kids, we're going to share it, and how it works into it. So I do like following the leaders. So find a handful of leaders that you relate to, and kind of maybe spend a little time like going to their page and getting inspired, but don't try to be them. Still be you. Just share you and your adventure. Have fun. Be positive. Keep all negativity off of your page.
Like all negativity.
I mean, yeah, there are some days where I want to get on there and I want to blast somebody did something or whatever. Just, it does no good for your business. You wouldn't want to see that on Target's door when you walk up to it. So just keep it off of your page. Keep
what
your
you
page,
want to see is a sale, 40% off, right?
40% off. That's what you when we go into Target. So talk about, like, how awesome our products are and how much money we can save you and how much healthier you feel and how much healthier I can make you feel.
Yes.
People buy stuff based on feelings. They do not want to be sold to. That's my number one piece of advice. Like, if you go to your page and it looks salesy, then revamp it.
Dude,
delete some posts and revamp it.
Share with passion, man. Passion is something that cannot put a price tag on it. People feel it. The reason Lindsay reached out to us is because, yeah, she saw the opportunity, but she saw us posting consistently, but she felt our passion toward it. There's no doubt about it. When you look at Trista's page or you look at my page, you can feel our passion. We love this business. We love what it's done for our family. We love sharing it, and that is unquestionable. So make sure you're sharing with passion and share with originality too. Get ideas from other people, but do not copy and paste. Facebook doesn't like that. It does not friend you when you copy and paste. Make things original. Change the post up. It's definitely going to put you much more at the top of the feed if you'll make things original. Getting a little off track.
I was gonna say something, but I lost it.
It's all right. Your lipstick's pretty. Hey, Lindsay, you had a pretty lipstick that Eric didn't like.
That's not true.
He didn't.
She took it.
Whoa.
He hated it.
You did.
He hated it. He called me and he said, "I hate that."
What do I say to her?
He looks like a clown, is what he said.
It looked gorgeous.
Nobody else thought that, so you're outnumbered. So I know I asked you this before I started, but for people who are like afraid to annoy people with their posts, what do you say to those people?
Similar to what we told the haters, really. I mean, the people that were holding you back.
Well, honestly, I make the posts all the time that I wrote. Then I talk to you about, like, honestly, who cares for the people who don't need this opportunity? You're posting for the people that do. And quite honestly, there's probably not anybody on this Zoom that would be here without social media. Almost every single person on here watched somebody on social media for a period of time before they joined. So I know I would not be here had Brittany not posted every single day. Lindsay, you wouldn't be here if I hadn't posted every day. So quite honestly, if you don't share it and you don't post consistently, you're taking the opportunity away from the people that do it. The people who don't, that's fine. They can unfollow you. That's completely fine. But the people that do need it, you've got to post for them, because you literally could be the answer to somebody's prayers. You could be the reason a mom gets to come home to her kids, or a family pays off buku dollars in debt. And if you're not sharing that, you're taking that opportunity from them. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter what you do or what you sell or there are going to be people who don't agree with it and don't like it. That's just the way of the world. But lucky for us, we're part of something that's so positive. Who cares? Honestly, good so far outweighs the bad that I don't even care.
I wanted to ask, a lot of people, and I'm kind of seeing it become a trend, but a lot of people are, let's say, putting people on blast for cold messaging. And a lot of times I'm noticing that, like, they'll share the clip of the message, and a lot of times it turns out to be it works. So for all of us, really, what would you guys suggest? Because I know that we will say, I want you to send this message to so many people, but when you're doing that and other people are doing the same thing, like, how can we kind of break that cycle?
So honestly, my biggest piece of advice is, I don't consider what I do cold messaging, because I always establish a relationship with that person before I send the message. Always.
Now explain what building a relationship is. Now, and before she does that, I want everybody, and I'm talking to Amanda, I think, right now. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, we're constantly warming our market. We don't really have a cold market. We should be warming our market by building a relationship. Right. This, in my opinion, with It Works, and really all network marketing, I feel like it's mislabeled. It's called network marketing, when in all reality, if you want to be good at network marketing, you should be doing relationship marketing. We never cold message someone. Like, if the first time we friended someone, we do not just mass cold message somebody, because even we who are almost ambassador diamonds in the company still get cold messages from people asking us to join It Works.
But that happens.
Yeah.
So when that happens, like, I know you did not look at my page whatsoever before you sent me this message, because had you could maybe go 2 posts, but you're going to see something about It Works.
Right.
So it just lets me know that they did not look at my page whatsoever. So for me, that is super annoying to me, and I don't ever want to annoy somebody like that. So even if I don't interact with them long, I at least interact with them some, so I don't think that I'm a random creeper. And I am very genuine in my interactions with people. It's not always It Works related. Even when I am talking to them, it's very conversational, and it is, when I'm reaching out to somebody, it is 100% not for me. It is for them. And so I feel like a lot of times the messages that go out are like, join my team, join my team, join my team. My.
Yeah.
But it's not about, like, I have this incredible opportunity. I saw you say that you didn't want to leave your baby at daycare. Those are the things that I'm looking for in the people that I'm messaging. I am not a mass messenger. I do send a lot of messages, but I'm not one who will bust out like 100 in a day.
And we're also not mass enrollers. And that's why. Like, you're not going to see us on the top enroller of the month deal or of the year deal. We're just slow and steady. We're very methodical. But what you will see about our team is super strong, because the people that we have on our team, we've built a relationship with. And
you got to know them first.
Yeah, absolutely. That relationship is what creates honesty, trust, belief in the process, and a great layered leadership program. That's what's so important, is make sure you're developing the relationship. You will grow a little more slowly, but that's okay, because your house is not a house of cards. Your house is one that's going to withstand the test of time. That's why it's so important to develop relationships that really do matter. I mean, I honestly feel like our very best friends are the people that are in this business. We genuinely, from the bottom of our hearts, have our teammates back, like, for real. That's why our team is so good, because it's almost like a family that's going after common goals. And when you have a group of people going after a common goal, that's called an army, last I checked. And I feel like we have that. I feel like we have an army going after common goals, of whether it be coming home to your family or buying and paying cash for your house, whatever it is that your goal is, we're all going after it with each other. We're all cheering one another on, and that's because we're developing true relationships. Anybody on this Zoom, anybody on our team is welcome to reach out to us at any second, and we will do anything we can to help anybody on our team. As long as it's within our capabilities, we'll make sure and do everything that we can for it.
That question, Amanda, is that helpful?
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm already doing. Like, I was just kind of trying to do it to the best of my knowledge. Like, I go through my friends list from A to Z, you know, of course, but people I haven't talked to, I send like a little wave to, and then try to say, hi, I'm a mom of 2. I go to cosmetology school, you know, what about you? And that's kind of how I start every conversation, so that it's not like, hey, it works. Hey, you know, so.
That will pay off eventually, I promise you. I can't tell you how fast it's going to go. I'm not going to lie to you and say that it's going to happen in a week. But I will promise you that over time, your consistency and your relationship building will create success at some level of business, I promise.
Do you, like, go to their personal, interact on their pages as well? Or do you set up a list, like potential list and potential list?
I don't set up the list, just because, I mean, like, I would have a whole notebook full, you know, of people, like, you know, because I try to think of my whole friends list as my potentials list. Yeah. But I do have, like, a shorter list of people that I've already talked to and are like, oh, you know, message me end of August, or, you know. Right. But, yeah, I just try to reach out to everybody and keep it personal to begin with. And then, you know, like, if I notice on their page they said, like you said, I really wish I didn't have to go to work today. Then I'll message and be like, like that post, and then message and be like, well, there's a way you don't have to if you're interested,
Very good.
So those people who you call stronger potentials, I would pop those people on a list so that you can specifically post for those people. You can make those opportunity posts, and they're going to see it if you post it to them. So I would, those stronger potentials, and post specifically to them. But that way you can interact more with just the people. It'll save you a ton of time.
Okay.
Rather like go through your paper list, go to their page. Like if you just have them in a list, they're going to be the ones that pop up. So it's going to make it easier for you to interact with them specifically.
Okay.
Thanks for asking, Amanda.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I tag on to that question a little bit? So when you are talking about interacting, maybe can we put a little bit more specifics around that, like what you mean? So interacting,
Well, first of all, don't just think that you're in social media land. Okay, this business is not just to be performed on social media. I will guarantee you that we have signed just as many distributors via face-to-face interaction as we have via social media, and that's because right away, face-to-face, they know our personality. They can connect immediately. With social media, it takes a little bit longer, not the person, but to get to know the person. So first of all, if you're not speaking to people face-to-face, you need to start. But I assume you're talking about the relationship building and interaction via social media. If you are not liking, if you are not commenting on people's posts, then you're not interacting and building a relationship. It's very, very important. And Trista, talk about what I talked about last night.
Well, so part of that, if you're not interacting with somebody's posts, there's a good chance that they are not even going to see your posts. And we just recently found out that a like on a post is not enough to get you on their wall or on their news feed. So you need to react to their posts. So like the little heart, the love, the laughy face, the angry face. What I wouldn't do too many angry faces. Like give them love and give them a comment. Something that I try to do is as I'm scrolling through my list of my people, and I see their posts, I type whatever comes to my mind because we automatically are thinking something when their post pops up. So just type it out like, oh my God, I love your shirt, or cute baby, or whatever. Just make it a habit of actually like writing the words of whatever pops into your mind, because that is going to, one, establish that relationship. They're going to have an idea who you are, but it will increase your visibility on their page. Your posts are going to show up more on their page. And so they're going to get to know you better, and they're going to get a snap little shot into your life the more that you interact with them.
Did you talk about like what we talked about last night as far as reading it? Like something else about Facebook is it can help you become a Facebook superstar. And it will do that if you do what it wants you to do. Facebook is about building relationships. That's why it was created. It's to keep people interconnected and to network. So it's a great tool for us. But one thing we have to do is it's not just about us getting genuine likes. It's about giving love and giving likes as well. And a lot of people in this company will scroll through Facebook and they'll like every single thing as fast as possible. And they'll keep scrolling and liking every single thing or loving every single thing. It makes no difference, thinking that they're building relationships. Well, Facebook actually knows how long it should take you to interact genuinely with that post. So if a post has been made 3 paragraphs long and you never press the see the rest or see more so you can see the whole thing, and you've already liked it, it's going to know that your like was basically all about yourself, and it's going to put you and your posts further down at the bottom of the feed. So make sure that you're reading the entire thing and sincerely liking it before you really do, or you're going to get hated on by Facebook.
It actually, like, Facebook thinks of you as a bot if you do that and not a real person. So, I mean, there are those like bots out there that comment automatically and like post automatically to build people's followings. It will put you in that category if you're liking and scrolling too fast.
Like, you shouldn't be able to like 20 posts in 10 seconds. You can't do that. You should be scrolling, see a post that stops and gets your attention, read it, and like it. move on to the next one. If you like it after you've read it, like it, move on to the next one. Be a human being that is interacting genuinely, and Facebook's going to help your posts be seen by more viewers.
Yeah. Honestly, like, just letting people know that you are noticing them and you like them. You would like to get to know them better.
You might hate them.
The more you interact
Maybe you
with
hate
them, the more they're going to see your stuff, and the more that they're going to take notice of what you're doing. So, I mean, that happens all the time. How many times do you get likes your post and you're not exactly sure who you are? So what's the first thing you do? You go to their page and look at it. And so that's going to happen. Like, people are going to take notice. If you're continuously liking their stuff, they're going to see your stuff more. So there you go.
So to follow up on, Eli, you said you signed as many people face-to-face as you have online. So is that like started online and you moved into face-to-face, or now you're talking like blitzing?
No, that's really that one's the hardest one to teach. I don't think you can teach it, but I think you can put a smile on your face. And so let's say I walk into the gym and somebody says, "Hey, how are you?" Or I'm the first one to say, "Hey, how are you?" And I say, they say, "Well, I'm doing okay." And then they say, "Well, how you doing?" I say, "You wouldn't believe me if I told you how well I'm doing." And right away that piques their interest. So like, what the heck's wrong with this guy? I mean, this guy's happy. He's smiling. What kind of drugs is he on?
Honestly, a smile goes so far. Just because people do not like when somebody asks you how are you, like, they expect like a fine, thanks. If you say more than that, they're like, what's
okay, like for instance, it's I wouldn't say it's easier for me, but my style is going to be different now because they say, "Well, how are you?" I say, "Well, you're not going to believe me if I told you." And they say, "What do you mean?" And I say, "Well, I'm 33 years old. You're not going to believe it, but I'm retired." Well, I've got their interest. And so somebody who's brand new says, "Yeah, but what do I say?" I say, "You're not going to believe me if I told you." And they say, "What do you mean?" And I say, "I just joined this company that is absolutely going to change my life." Well, right now, you've piqued their interest. You have to be willing to share this opportunity. Us as Christians, right? I'm supposed to go out and share the good news. That's what I'm here to do. And so in this company, I've got good news to share also. I don't want to rob this opportunity of somebody who looks gloom and doom at the gym, or even somebody who looks like they're having a great time. It's up to them if they join, but I do want to share this opportunity if at all possible. And it's not that I'm going to immediately shove It Works down their throat. I'm going to build a relationship with them, even if it's over 2 or 3 days, even if it's over a month, but eventually It Works is going to have the opportunity to come up. So you have to initiate the opportunity to build a relationship. And when you've initiated that opportunity, now through time, the opportunity to share It Works is going to come up as well.
For me, the most important thing I do is when I'm talking to somebody and, we've got a conversation going, I more of like hey, can I add you on Facebook? I always get them on my Facebook, where he can sign them right there, and that's fine. That's not my strength. And so my strength is I continue to build that relationship on Facebook. I will send them a message immediately. Like, "It was so nice to meet you." I don't even mention It Works at all. But it was so nice to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better, whatever. I'm so glad we could connect. And then I just let them watch my journey. But
very effective. Truly very effective, especially for somebody who's not quite as comfortable talking, face to face. You're able to initiate the relationship and then grow it via social media, maybe in a more comfortable environment.
Yeah. The big thing is just listen to people. People will tell you a lot, and they will give you an opening. If you're kind of listening for it. Most people, if you ask them like, "Well, how long have you worked here?" They're going to tell you, 35 years and I hate it, or whatever. They will give you an opening.
35 years would suck bad. The job you hate.
But just asking simple questions like that and getting to know them and just listening. Wear your gear. People will ask you about your gear. Have your shaker cup. Have your greens. Just think of ways to have that conversation kind of started.
You're growing a business, guys. You're growing a business. And a lot of times to share yourself and your lifestyle before they be interested in the opportunity you have. Because like I tell Trista and like we tell everybody on our team all the time, the people that are viewing our lives or the people that are viewing our Facebook, whatever it is, they may not be interested in our products. They may not be interested in our business, but they want our life. And so you guys have to make sure that you have the energy to create.
That does not mean they wanted our lives long before we were ever making money.
Oh, yeah, that's
just
true.
Means we were positive. We were excited.
People want happy.
We were having fun.
Yeah, they want happy.
And people don't have that. We were making friends. We were showing adventure. Like, we weren't stuck at home.
We were going to meetings. We weren't making a ton of money.
That does not mean that you have to be making all this money, because that is not what people want. People just want positivity and happiness.
They yearn for that. Nobody wants to be negative all the time. Even if they think they do, they don't.
Okay, we have about 8 minutes before the family call. So does anyone have any questions for Eli and Trista before we get off here? Make sure you unmute yourself before you ask. No one has any questions for the almost Ambassador Diamonds?
If that's okay, it means we did a good job.
That's right.
You can message us later.
We did do a good job.
Oh my gosh.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a question. I'm Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
This has been the worst Zoom ever. I'm just kidding.
I already like it. But I know that she's alive.
Well, thank you for your time. You guys are incredible, and
thank you.
Going with this, I'm new, so do you have a place on the eSuite that would be best to like 5 documents, or I don't even know what's on eSuite really.
So, the most important things I think for like new people starting out to get familiar with on the eSuite are how to change your auto shipment, because that's also very important that you become familiar with that so that you can tell your customers and your team members how to do that. So how to change your auto shipment. I personally, in your document library, there's 3 things that I would recommend that you print off. One being your product info sheets. So I find those to be super helpful, especially starting out, because you don't know everything about all the products. It was a great way for me to learn all the products. If somebody asked me something and I didn't know it, I could just go there and flip to it and find that. So I recommend printing those off. Print off your Ruby chart. Start writing those names in of who is going to fill in your Ruby chart. You have to know where you're going before you can get there. So have your Ruby chart printed off in your steps to success, which is your roadmap to being successful, what you want to try and complete every single month. And then under reports, Organization Explorer or Tree Viewer are 2 great. Just kind of click around on the reports. You're not going to screw anything up. You can't do any kind of damage, but it's good to get familiar with where to see volumes, how to see what loyal customers get in their auto shipment. Just take some time and go through the different views and reports. Find the one that you like that makes it easier for you to see like what's going on downline. Organization Explorer is a really good one starting out. As your team grows, it gets a little bit and hard to find things, and so I switched to Tree Viewer. But just get familiar with the reports. Those are probably the most important ones in eSuite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amber, still can't hear you.
I can't hear you, Amber.
I'm trying to talk.
You're laughing.
I can hear talking, but I can't hear you.
So you can put it in the chat.
You can put it in the chat.
I got Amber now.
No, she's frozen.
Amber's happy.
Yeah.
Shut her camera off.
It's back.
Amber. Hey, Amber, take your headphones out of the thing. Now try talking.
No.
Unplug them.
Unplug them.
I mean, unplug them out of the phone.
Are they plugged in or are they wireless?
Looks like.
Now talk.
Now we're frozen on your eyebrows.
Amber, you do got eyebrows.
This is bad.
God bless her heart.
Hey guys, I have a quick question for you guys. I know, hold on, Pumpkin. I know recently for myself, Pumpkin, hang on. I know recently for myself, I've kind of hit like a small lull with just finding daily motivation, I guess. And I guess more that affects me in life than, just this business. And how do you guys manage the stress of everyday life, family life, work life, and then just putting it all together and just maintaining everything?
Self-development.
Yeah.
Honestly, that is like my number one recommendation, because it will, when you change kind of your mind, the way that you think, motivation is only like, it's short lived. But it's when you really like put the work in to change your thinking and change your level of discipline, that you still need the everyday motivation, but like you do things on days when you don't feel like it.
Yeah, having a reason is not really enough. You could, if you just continue to be the same person, you're the same results because you haven't changed who you are. So self-development is one of my, if not my number one tip. And the reason I say that is I used this the other day in a Zoom we did for another team. I used to train athletes at my gym. Well, some people say, well, why do I have to lift weights? Why do I have to work on my speed and agility? Why do I have to work on this part and this aspect of athletics? Well, I looked at every single athlete that I trained as kind of a glass, like a drinking glass. And I can pour only so much into that glass because of the size, before it starts to overflow. But when I self-develop, or when they lift weights, or when they work on their speed and agility, or when they work on the mental aspect of whatever it is athletically that they're going for, their glass gets bigger. And so I can pour more into them. And so when your glass gets bigger, you can pour more into that glass. And what you're pouring into that glass is the ability to handle those stressors of the day, those things that pop up that you just don't know how to handle. You become a little bit more bulletproof when you self-develop. When you become more of the person that God intended for you to become, you're able to handle those things a little bit better. Cammie says something that's really, really cool. Network marketing is like self-development with a compensation plan. And that's exactly what we're in. You have to constantly be, if you want to be successful in this business, you have to constantly be networking and self-developing. Those are the two things that you have to constantly be doing. Networking and building your audience, and self-developing. Self-development is huge when it comes to handling the daily struggles of life, because we still have those too. And they're going to continue to come. It's inevitable. But self-development doesn't make those things go away. It just gives you the ability to handle those things a little bit better. I hope that answered your question. Self-development, if you have any, if somebody wants to ask what would you recommend, I would be happy to say those things. Self-development's like my favorite thing in the world. So if you want to hear like self-development things, first of all, I recommend that everybody on this Zoom read the book called Chase the Lion by Mark Batterson. That book is it's Christian based, but it's very, very relative to network marketing, specifically our business. It talks about God-sized goals. It talks about having a purpose, and having a purpose that maybe you might not even see the benefits of, but that the generations after you will benefit from.
The following options. Please press 0 to stay in the line to leave a message for a representative.
Awesome.
Heyo.
But anyways, Mark Batterson, Chase the Lion is very important if you're wanting to read a book. Anything by John C. Maxwell is very good. YouTube videos are good. They only last a short time, but they're very good if you need a quick pick-me-up. You just go to YouTube and type in motivational speeches, and you're going to be able to get your pick of the litter. But people you could look up that are very relative to what we do, Jim Rohn, Rohn, is one of the best business minds of the previous generation. He's fantastic. Les Brown, who else do we got? Eric Thomas, Tony Robbins, all those people are fantastic for motivation. Prayer life is hugely important. Make sure that you're getting your prayer in daily if you want to self-develop and build that relationship with him. What else you got? Anything?
That
No?
sounded good.
I think, is everybody gone?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I know along with that, it pretty much answers it. I am doing development. That's always been a huge thing for me. I guess I just don't know, I guess, where I stand with things, like where I'm meant to be, like my purpose for it all, I guess.
Sure. What is your why? Why did you join?
My daughter.
Okay, that right there is reason enough. So that is reason enough. So things are going to happen, and you're going to struggle with things, and I use this constantly. I don't know why I use this one, because I just know that it relates to just about anybody. But I know that things happen in our lives where it is so easy to say, you know what, I'm just over this, I'm done, apparently I'm not made for it, or whatever. Well, your reason is your daughter, and you would do anything for your daughter, right? I mean, you would do anything for her because you're a parent, and that's what parents do, good ones anyway. And I know that in my life, I use an example. I build a house. I don't know a whole lot about building a house, but I will guarantee you that if someone came to me and said, Eli, if you don't have a house built by tomorrow night, we're going to take your kids. We're going to take your kids from you. You better believe that I'm house built by tomorrow night, even though I have no idea what I'm doing. I will exhaust every resource that I have. I'll make every phone call that I have. I'll go do all the traveling from this point until tomorrow night. I'll do everything that it takes to have a house built, and so would you. And regardless of what stress of life come at you, regardless of what happens, if your reason is really your daughter, you will figure out a way to make this work. I promise you that. If your focus is constantly her and she is constantly your why and not your excuse. Because so often in this world, people say, well, I joined for my kids, and then the summer happens and everything gets really, really busy, and all of a sudden our why becomes our excuse. And that happens because of the enemy. That happens because Satan does those things to us. You have to make sure that your focal point is constantly Christ, and that right next to that is your purpose and your why. You said you didn't know your purpose. I don't even know if I know my purpose, but I do know my why. And my why are my kids, my family, and everybody that I get a chance to help with this opportunity. So just make sure that you're constantly focused on him, her, and you'll figure it out, because you are a caring, loving parent. Don't allow your why to become your...
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
I think we just had church.
I don't know about that.
A lot.
I'm definitely not worthy of a
Hey, that'll preach, my friend.
Just a quick thing too, the way you were talking about self-development, someone a while ago on It Works, the first time I was with you guys, gave me a list of self-development books. So if anybody was interested in getting a copy of that, I can take a picture of it and share it with the group.
Absolutely. That'd be great.
Any chance anyone can hear me?
Yes.
Man.
Okay. Well, I won't take up too much time since, we're past curfew here. But I have a really quick question. In all of our I noticed something that happened this weekend was I was out and I was wearing some gear, and I had a girl say, oh, you must sell It Works. And I kind of started talking to her about it, and she said, oh, my best friend sells it. And I've been wanting to reach out to her, but I wasn't sure if it worked or not. And deep down, I'm like, well, let me tell you, here's my website. But all the personal development I've been doing and just like some things that I've heard, it's like never take from your sideline, you're never going to build your business that way. Any insight into that, or just like when those opportunities arise?
Integrity first.
Yes, integrity first. And the way I always think about it is, what would I want somebody to do for me in that situation? So just recently, honestly, I had a girl message me. This happens a lot. I had a girl message me. She was ready to join, like legit, like sign me up, I'm ready. But then in talking to her, I found out she was actually an active loyal customer under somebody else who actively worked the business. Now there's a big difference in my opinions versus somebody who actively works the business and somebody who doesn't. But I knew that this girl actively worked the business. And so I told her, I know I'm closer to you, but I know this girl and she will take great care of you. I think you need to go back to her. Just because I would want somebody to do that for me. If my loyal customer, I would hope that they would do that. Now, everybody does not run their business that way. But I personally, I try very, very hard to never take a potential from somebody who is actively working the business.
And that will come back to you, because as soon as she did that, that's actually when we signed those 7 or 8 distributors. Yeah. So it really will come back to you, I promise, even though it's hard to do. And that girl's actually like a rock star. She's really good.
She went Ruby in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Of course she did.
Right. But that's okay. That's okay.
Fine.
But I would, like Trista said, a lot of people say that, well, my best friend does that. I would do some research and see, does your best friend really do it? Does that person really do it? I'm not asking you to take her, but I am saying if
look out for her.
Look out for her and her best interest, the person that's thinking about doing it, and make sure that she's at least getting plugged into a team that's going to help her in any way possible.
Absolutely. Some people don't exactly work the business or whatever. And so honestly, like, you're doing that potential a disservice. But if they are actively, like, they're an active, they post, they do what they need to do, I never, ever, ever take from somebody else. I would rather just know that my integrity is intact and I'm building my business 100% the right way. Now, there are times where it happens to all of us where I've been talking to this girl, but she's also been talking to somebody over here. And really, like, who's to say who she should sign with, because we've both been talking to her at the same amount of time, and she hasn't let us know that she's talking to more than one person. Ultimately, it is up to that person who they join. But I will never badmouth another person. I never say like, oh, well, you don't need to join her. You need to join me because X, Y, and Z. And two, I've had it happen where I've been talking to somebody for a long time, but then their best friend joins. Obviously, I expect them to join their best friend and not me. So there are a lot of different scenarios. The thing that I always come back to is, what would I want somebody to do for me if I was that person's.
Sure.
And I just try to build my business with integrity and know that at the end of the day, like, yeah, it might suck and it might make me lose a potential or two. It will come back to you if you build it right.
And remember too that we're all working together. Like, it's one team, one mission. Like, I have had more than one person talk to me for months, and I've been the one to convince them to join. And then they're like, oh, but like Trista said, my best friend asked me to join her. Well, that's great because she's part of our team. But definitely try and watch out for the potential distributor, like they said, because you want them to benefit too.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, this particular scenario was like a blitz situation, so it was a little bit different, and it was more customer based, but same thing. Thank you guys.
You're welcome. So
I'm glad you finally got to hear me.
So with a customer, like, honestly, I would give her and with like, if I can ever answer any questions for you, I would love to.
And she's not a customer yet, so like she just, that's her decision. You leave info with her, and then it's up to her.
Honestly, she might go to your page and see like, oh, well, you do post about this every day, and her friend might not. So she might come to you if you more consistent with it. But I obviously would not try to actively take her, but I think like giving
At least
her
give
your
her that
info is
opportunity.
fine.
There's nothing backhanded about that.
Okay, I think we will wrap it up so we don't take any more of anyone's time. But I really appreciate you guys talking to us and encouraging us. And sorry about my little meltdown.
But
I understand.
that's
we've
awesome.
been there.
That's awesome. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Well, I think I want to do this for my team, but I think I needed it the most. So I appreciate it.
No problem at all. I'm glad it was scheduled for tonight then.
Me too.
Well, we're definitely very thankful for you guys, not only for what you provide and give us personally, but our whole team. I mean, you guys. There's a lot of people that look up to you guys, and so we are very thankful that we're a part of this.
That's really humbling, and I want everybody to know that on this Zoom, we're here for anybody on here. And I mean that genuinely, just as Lindsay is. There's no doubt about that. But we're regular people. You know, a lot of people they think that because you've made it to a specific level that you're some superhuman being that's been sprinkled with magic fairy dust, and that's why you're successful. That is 100% not true. We're regular folks that have the same issues, same problems as everybody on here, the same happy times that everybody on here has. Just know that we're real, and you can reach out to us anytime. That's what we love doing, is helping people. So that's what we're here for. And hopefully you guys are in the same boat, because if you are that way and you put others first, you're going to find yourself at the top before you know it.
Great. Thank you very much. And everyone have a wonderful week.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.